Good morning, good YouTube people. It's Captain Lope with you. I was talking a little bit about using my barbecue smoker, so I'm going to do a quick little video on it. And what it is, it's a Pit Boss. I don't know if you can see that or not. But they had these on sale, pre-Thanksgiving sale, just a couple of days before Black Friday. Get people in shopping early. And it was a $400 model. They had it marked down to $300, and you get a free bag of pellets to go with it. And decided to go in and pick one up. I pull into the parking lot, and first person I'm greeted by is a young man who's on our volunteer fire department. He just started last summer, and he was working at the store as a carryout. So I talked to him, told him what I was going to do, and he's like, oh yeah, come in, see the cashier, we'll get you set up. So I'll go in and see the cashier, and go out to the truck, and he's already got one loaded on his cart. Him and his work partner there already had it loaded. And I'm saying, isn't this like the big one? You know, isn't this the deluxe model? The one that's not on sale? And he went and checked, and sure enough, he was about ready to load like a $600 or $700 model onto my truck. And too ethical. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to live with myself. Every tasty, juicy, smoky morsel of meat would have been laden with guilt seasoning. So they went and got the right one, got it on, and gave it to my wife as an early gift. So brought it home, and it was a gift of some frustration, because after we got it assembled, which was kind of a pain, there was just a few things in the instructions that weren't really clear. Got it assembled, came out, hooked it up, and it wasn't working quite right. It was dumping pellets into the fire chamber, and it was smoldering, but there was no vigorous burning of the pellets like we need. And so in the instructions, we were able to find out that you can take this little control panel off and check some plugs in the back. So we checked the plugs, and sure enough, there was a plug not working. So we fixed that and got it working again. And by then we'd already had a pork loin that we were gonna do in it that we ended up cooking in the oven. And then another time we were trying to get it going again, wouldn't work again, and the auger was not working. So actually one day while I was at work, my wife, who is the handy person and the assembly person of the household, worked on it, and she got the auger to work again. She had to actually take the thing apart and make some shims so that the motor would contact the auger and get it to turn. Now this does have a temperature gauge up here, and right now I've just got this on smoke setting. It's just showing 145. The temperature gauges don't always match up with this, but right now I'm just trying to keep it on smoke, get some smoke going on my meat. And I'll show you the hopper here. They could have made this hopper a little bit bigger. They could have made it taller, you know. They had room to make it a better capacity, but that's alright. And if you're going to be smoking meat, you definitely want a probe thermometer. I've got this one here, which actually partially melted one day, but it still works. The switches are a little bit sensitive on it. And then I've got this other one. It's a wireless that I picked up from my Sweet Spot dumpster, and I had that working this morning. And I put in fresh batteries on this one because the display wasn't looking quite right. I put in fresh batteries, and now they're not talking to each other. So I don't know what I did, but they're not talking to each other now. So I've only got probe thermometer in one of my items. When I make a rub, I'll usually start off with fresh cracked peppercorns in my mortar and pestle and bust those up a little bit. There's a lot of ways you can do a rub. I'm sure YouTube probably has several rub recipes on it, or if you watch food TV, you know, you can get ideas. But my pork rubs almost always start off with fresh cracked pepper and brown sugar and garlic, of course. Gotta have the garlic. But there are many rubs available, commercial, you know, make up your own, whatever. And if you're going to be using one of these out in the cold, I know we got a similar one at work. It's a higher grade model, but they sell a blanket with it. And actually, I've got an old, obsolete firefighting coat here that I'll put shiny side down on it. And this is different than most firefighting coats. It's actually designed for high temperatures. So you can flip that upside down and make your own little blanket for it, for working in the cold. Last time I smoked a pork butt, it was cold, and you know, actually I don't really think I needed the coat on it. I ended up taking it off because it was staying plenty hot in there. Okay, now of course one of the big rules for smoking meat is if you're looking, you ain't cooking. So you want to keep this closed, but I'm going to open it anyhow, since all I'm doing right now is making a bunch of smoke, just to get the smoke flavor in them. Probably in 3 hours, 4 hours, I'll turn up the heat and get the heat going. But what I have here is a bone-in turkey breast. Essentially what it is a turkey torso, and under the skin there I have put pats of butter with the rub that I made on it, and the rub I made there was more of a poultry seasoning type rub. And I put the pats of butter under the skin, and I've probably got this actually upside down as far as you would normally smoke it. You would probably have the cavity down, but I've got it up so that the butter doesn't run out, so the butter will stay in the skin and flavor and moisten the bird. And then I've also got a pork butt in here, which I was going to put that other probe thermometer into, but since it doesn't seem to want to work right, I don't have that. But I'm going to get this thing closed now and get my smoke going, get my smoke to work. But anyhow, good YouTube people, I don't know. Some people wanted to see my smoker, so there it is. You know, once we got it working, it seems to be okay. Probably not as good as the high-end models, but we got it working now. Oh, and forgot to mention the smoke on this exhausts out the back. There's some holes underneath a little metal piece right there. The smoke exhausts out the back. A lot of smokers have a adjustable smokestack. You can open or close, regulate your smoke discharge. But anyhow, that's Captain Lope, smoking on. Have a great day.